Crossstitchers, happy September! My name is Tamara and this is my channel litcatstitches. It's a channel primarily about cross stitch. I do occasionally have other crafts that I like to do, like knitting and quilting and things like that, but lately it's all cross stitch all the time. So this is my next Flosstube video. I believe it's video 10. So that's pretty exciting, and I know there's a lot of new faces around here since I did my whip parade, so welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for your comments and your likes. Really appreciate it. I can't wait to show you what I've been up to. It's been about a month since my last video, and it's Sampler September. So I had some plans in my last video, which I did follow through with. So there were some new starts to go along with that, but I also had some old whips that I worked on as well, and let's just say when it comes to haul, there's a lot. There's a lot of haul. My Needlework Expo came in, and I bought some things from Stash Unloading, and I needed some fabric and I think I was like in nesting mode, right? Where it's like fall and it's getting cooler and I know I'm going to be inside more. And my brain was like, well, you need the things to, you know, hibernate with, and those things are cross stitch supplies apparently. So I'm going to show you a selection of things that I got at the very end. So if haul's not your thing, I'm going to put that right at the end. But if you love a good haul video or you want to see what I got at Expo, stick around. But please get a drink, take this in chunks. Let me know what you think. I'm going to go, so this is the order of operations, okay? We're going to do old whips, then we're going to do new starts, which includes the samplers that I started for September, and some other things that weren't samplers. And then we'll do plans, and then we'll do haul. All right, so I'll talk about my October plans, and then we'll do a good haul video. But the very first thing I have to show you is I have a fully finished object in honor of Halloween. We've decorated a little bit. We've only just barely started. My son is a Halloween fan, so the sooner the better for him. But I do have a fully finished object. It is not professionally finished, and I actually see there's a little wrinkle here. You know, it's funny, it doesn't really show up in person. Well, I'll fix it afterwards. But anyway, it's just a Michaels frame. So there's no glass, and it's one of those like craft frames. So I haven't decided if I'm going to paint it or not. I might, but this is the Madame Chantilly Halloween Mouses, and I've just stuck this in here with some acid-free framing tape. This is done on a 28 count Mystery Lugana, and I did mostly the called for DMC. I think my purple is like one shade or two darker. And I think my gray might be a little different. I can't remember now. I finished this last year, so it's been hanging out for a little bit, but I did want to fully finish it so I could get it hung up, and I'm pretty excited about that. What I'll do is it's just stuck on with a little bit of tape on the back here, so I will have to press it again, but that's fine. So that's my fully finished object. Okay, in the whips. So when I last saw you, it was in August, and my plan was for the weekend after I saw you to work on the Equality Sampler, because it was Women's Equality Day. So I did that, I worked on it all weekend. So this is the sampler. It's by Plum Street. It's a beautiful sampler. I don't stitch a lot of patriotic, but I do want to stitch this one, and I'm going to add a couple of other dates to it, including you know, some other dates that are on here, because this is for 1920. And there are some other dates that I think are really important for women's equality that came after. So I'm gonna stitch that one. Last time I saw you, I think I showed you a picture of what it looked like before. So I'll put that picture here. I'm stitching this on 36 count of Sherky Tan by Fox and Rabbit in the called for floss. Here's the floss. It's a beautiful, you know, it's got beautiful pinks and golds and nice sort of, you know, swampy greens. It's beautiful. The colors are really gorgeous. And this is what it looks like. Yeah. So I stitched more of this border. I'm trying to remember. It's been a month. I stitched more of the border. Oh, and I added in, they're kind of hard to see. There are white flowers here for the strawberries. They have like a center motif, which will make them pop more, but I haven't stitched that yet. And then I started filling on this flower as well. It's very tone on tone for some of the sampler, but I actually really like that about it because it becomes more of a textural element than an in your face kind of element, and the strawberries stand out more. So I think that's going to be really pretty. And as you can see, I already have a Halloween kitty ready to go there. So only 2 days of work, but I enjoyed bringing it out, and this is what I plan to stitch on for some other patriotic holidays. The next thing I worked on was the Summer Sampler by Prairie Schooler. And I'm stitching this center sampler here. Last time you saw it, it looked like this. This is on a 28 count mushroom Lugana. I'm using the called for DMC, and this is where I got to. So I finished the flower motif here, and I've started on the motif with the house. This was just one additional day. It came up on my one more time on Arbitrary August, so I finished that. I love this sampler so much, and I do want to do the other seasons, but fall is, I have so many plans for fall and so many things I like to stitch in fall, including a lot of Halloween stitching. So I haven't started it yet, but I do hope to stitch all of them at some point. And then the last whip that I have is from Sarcy Girl. It's the 2020 pandemic sampler, and sorry for keeping it in this bag, but it's in one of these vinyl bags that it's a printed pattern and it's stuck to it. So don't get these ones. These ones are no good. So this is the sampler though. And I wanted to put some more work in, so I did. I worked on this for a couple of days, and what I did is I started the bird, I finished this tree, I added this little motif, I've added some flowers in here, and I brought the border over and up. So not a lot done, but I do want to turn back to this soon. And I really like what Michelle Bendy is doing, where she's doing like a strand of floss a day. that's a really good way to tackle it, and I might borrow that. So not a lot of progress here, but I did work on it. This is on 40 count, picture this plus Heritage. Is that right? Yeah, Heritage, and it's the called for DMC, except my 921 is actually 301. So my, this orange is different, but I just used a comparable orange. Okay, then we hit September proper, and the first thing I started was Grimshaw. This was one of my plans. This is also a little bit of purchases because I purchased the this bag from Joanne Creations on Etsy. It's a lovely quilted bag. I started Anne Grimshaw, 1818. This was my back to school sampler. That's the hashtag that New Hampshire Stitcher, I think, created. If I'm wrong, sorry, please correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it was a New Hampshire Stitcher. And I have wanted to stitch this one forever, and what a better time. I'm stitching this on 40 count needle bling in the colorway Heirloom, which is kind of, it's a neutral, but it's a kind of dusty pinky color. And I didn't iron, I'm really sorry, but it's either iron or Flosstube. So I've finished 2 motifs and I've started the 3rd. I'm stitching it with a Verissois in just the black colorway. A little closer picture. So this is lovely to stitch. It's really meditative, and there are a couple of areas where the stitch is not symmetrical, and I've made it symmetrical. So it's a true reproduction in that it has all of the inconsistencies from the original, and I've gone ahead and just corrected them to make them symmetrical because I can't. It's one thing to stitch the error unknown, and it's another thing to stitch it and just look at it and look at it and look at it. So I went ahead and corrected them. It is beautiful though. Absolutely beautiful. Give you a closer look. It's so pretty, and I really, really love it on this color. This, it's not 100% true. This is reading a little bit more brown, when in person it is got a slightly, very slight pink to it. I don't know when I'm going to bring Anne out again. I don't think she'll be touched through the rest of September because I have a little bit of catch up to do with some of my other September plans. So it's unfortunate, but I do want to turn back to her probably in November. I might bring her out as part of my Black November stitching. The next thing I started is September's Revenge. I bought the kit from Evertote, which came with a bag, so I chose this one. Love an Evertote bag, nice and big. Fits like a 8x8 Q-snap in there. It's perfect. So September's Revenge, so Carolyn of Off the Grid Needle Arts, who is the owner of Evertotes, has been putting out daily, quasi-daily videos. And this is the sampler we're working on. So it's September's Revenge by Maximum Crossstitch. Beautiful chart. Beautiful floss. I mean, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I did not get fabric with my kit, so I'm stitching this on Fiber on a Whim Mocha. And we're supposed to finish at the end of September. I lost my board. At the end of September, and I am close, but I have a bit of stitching to do. So this is where I got to. Oh, it's beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? Look at those colors. So this side is all done. All I have left over here is the VW, X, Y, and Z on the bottom. There's a flower here that I've started working on. Another one up here, letters, finish this flower, and then another flower over here. So it's close, but whew, it's gonna be tight, because these flowers, they were about 2 days of stitching for me. You know, it's a lot of fill-in. I made one change from the chart. So the chart has the letters in this white color of the window frames, but it really was lost on my fabric. So I just switched it to this color called Earl Grey, which was the color of the door. Just slightly more purple. It's hard to get a good picture for you. And I promise when it's finished, I will iron it so that you can get a really nice view of it. But I'm like just gonna put it in a hoop again. It's literally, this is my stitching today and tomorrow and Saturday. And hopefully I can finish it on Saturday. Might be a late night. But so fun. Gorgeous chart, beautiful. I have some unintentional customizations in the chart. My house is 2 stitches too wide. I accidentally added 1 stitch too many between these 2 windows, and so I just replicated that error on this side so that it was symmetrical, which means that some of my vines are an extra stitch this way or an extra stitch this way, just to kind of compensate. If I hadn't told you, you wouldn't know. But beautiful. I'm really looking forward to getting this one up on the wall, and I might get this one professionally framed because I really love it. I love the concept. I love the colors. I loved every second of stitching it. Thanks for such a good chart. Thank you. All right. I'm a mess today, guys. I had 2 additional starts. I know. Like, isn't that enough, Tamara? No, it's not. It's not enough. The first one I started, I put in this Joanna's Creations bag. And I needed an appropriately autumnal piece to go in here that wasn't Halloween. So I started the Cricut Collections Autumn. And, oh my goodness. This is on 32 count Bronze Age by Bestitch Me in all of the called for floss. So I have everything in here, including the thread gatherer silks, which there's only 2. So there's this sort of green, yellow, and then there's this purple, orange, green variegated one. And I haven't gotten very far, but this is where I'm at. So this is the U. So I did a center start, and I've started working on the pumpkin. And it's not a lot, but you know, things don't get stitched unless you start them. So I started it. I will likely pull this out again in October. I'm not exactly sure when. I do have a lot of plans for my dark October stitching, but I still want to get some stitches into this one because it's autumn. October is prime autumn season. And similarly, I want to do all the seasons for that. I haven't started any of the other ones yet. It is what it is. We'll get there one day. Okay. Last start is, last time I talked about buying this kit, and so I went ahead and started wash day. It's a nice small sampler. I'm using the called for NPI floss. Hillside Rookery. That's where the kit's from, Hillside Rookery. I'm stitching this on Fiber on a Whim Latte. So the same, actually, it's actually the leftover piece from my September's Revenge. And it's just the base of the wash stand. Now, for this one, I bought the kit, but I'm stitching this on a 32 count. And so I bought an extra skein of the red, the orange, and the gray. Whichever, I can't remember. I think it's this orange that has more stitches. The kit is enough floss. I bought enough floss for 1/1, and I decided to do it 2/2. So that's on me. But I knew I wanted to get those flosses, so I went ahead and bought them because I like stitching with NPIs. So it's not a. I'll find another place to use them. And I'm excited to turn back to that one too, though it does feel slightly more springy, but I wanted to start because I love that pattern and I love blackbirds. So, okay. That is all of the starts and all of the stitching that I did in the month. It's significant. It's a lot. The September's Revenge it's not huge, but it's, 8,000 or so stitches. So a lot of stitching in there. Now we're going to turn to plans. So my plans are to finish September's Revenge by Saturday, end of day, because that's the end of September. So hopefully I'll have that finished. And then I want to move right into October stitching. So let me pull out, I'll be right back. I'm going to just go I'm going to rearrange and get ready for plans and haul. And I'll show you what my plans are. So the first one that I want to start is also in some haul. I bought a vintage owl lady bag, which I'd never had before. And it's beautiful. It's using this Ghastly's fabric, which I love. So, the plan. Praiseworthy Stitches, CD Pumpkin Cottage. I started this, I think, before last Halloween. Let me just pull my information out here. This is the bag, by the way. I saved her card. So she posts on Instagram the bag she's making for the day, and then it goes into Etsy and you could purchase it. It was very, very easy to do, but you do need to be quick. I thought I had a progress report card type thing in my bag, but I don't see it, so it doesn't matter. I am stitching this on 40 count Fiber on a Whim Silver Fox. And this is where we're at. I'm using all of the called for flosses. And it's beautiful, but it's huge. And this house is forever. So this is the house. So I'm working on this bottom section. I've gotten over to, I've stitched this window and I've over here. So I'm getting close to being finished with the first floor of the house, but look at how much, there's like a whole other floor, and then all of the, it's so many things. So I really need to get my behind in gear here so that I can have a finish maybe in 2 Halloweens. 2025, maybe. That'd be nice. I love stitching it. I love stitching it. It's gorgeous to stitch. The colors are great. The fabric is lovely. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's solid, full coverage in this portion for the most part. And it's beautiful, but it's a lot. And especially like most of my stitching hours are late at night after my son goes to bed. I'm tired. But dedication, and I will get there. And it's about the journey, right? We enjoy the stitching. So this does have some beads, just two sets of beads, nothing too much. I think it's mostly eyes and things like that. So that's plan 1. Plan 2, my Halloween wreath by, it's the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is the same place where you've seen it before because I haven't gone through to correct my issue. I had a dye lot issue on one of my DMCs. So there's some stitching right here. There's that there's like a medium gray. It should be this darker gray. I don't know if it was mislabeled, but I need to take that out. I've since gotten a darker dye lot of, I think it's 618. But I do need to just get that finished up because it's now complete. They've released all the sections, and I had kept up to it. I was doing really good. And then that dye lot issue just threw me for a loop and just put it away. But I do want to pull this one out as well so that I can try and finish it up. It's 3 months worth though, so it might not be hung up this October, but I'd like to get it out by next October because I already have a plan for how I want to finish it. So I really want to get it finished. Okay. And then the last plan that I have is another whip. This one was started last October as well. I'm just doubting myself. The years, they really blend together. Do I have the cover sheet for the full picture? This was also a sell, so I'm just trying to see. I don't. This is what it looks like. This is what it's finished. This is the by Tiny Modernist. It is called Halloween Crystal Ball. Yes. And I started this 9/9/22. And it's on Fox and Rabbit Elephant Run, 40 count. Again, no ironing. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I want to stitch. I don't want to iron. Things get ironed when they're finished. So this is where we're at. I don't know if I can get a finish. There's a lot of full coverage stitching in that crystal ball. Probably not a finish this Halloween, maybe my next Halloween. This is using my own floss conversion. It's over-dyed flosses in similar tones, so dark orange, light orange, dark gray, light gray, a green that's kind of swampy, and then a white. So those are my dark October plans for whips. Now, I have a bunch, and I mean a bunch of Halloween ornaments and smalls that I want to stitch. So I'll probably start some of those. I don't have all of those plans set yet, but I do have in another haul from another Vintage Owl Lady bag a bunch of fabrics and flosses and patterns and things that I want to stitch for smalls, including things like, you know, smalls from Prairie Schooler, things that can be individual ornament size or that you can pull elements out of, magazine ornaments from you know, just cross stitch or any of those. So that's all in here. I won't go through it. It's just a whole host of scraps and things like that, because that's what ornaments are great for, is using up those little pieces of fabric. So I have a bag for that, and hopefully I can get some of those done and show you next time. Okay. That's it for plans. I am now going to turn to haul. And I'm going to start with Needlework Expo in case anyone's really curious about that. I find that I sometimes miss stuff in releases, or, you know, when I'm scrolling the website, you know, for where I order from, something doesn't strike me when I see it on the website, but then I see somebody on Flosstube hold it up and I'm like, oh, I have to have that. So I'll go through my Needlework Expo haul first. Whoa, maybe. Hi, let's get close and personal. How you doing? How you been? Don't mind me. Don't mind my reach. I've had a lot of coffee today. You might be able to tell. So I bought mine from Top Knot Stitcher Shop this year. I like to spread out my purchases just to various shops. So Top Knot Stitcher Shop is where I went this time. And she always sends a little screen cleaner, which is really nice. Okay. Some of these things are going to be in plastic. I'm not going to take them out. I apologize if there's glare. The first thing I got was the Artsy Housewife Pink Barn, which is gorgeous. Artsy Housewife also has some other patterns that I bought from Etsy. I didn't print them out, but one is the Golden Delicious, which Ellen Reed just started from Maximum Cross Stitch. And I think I also did the chicken one, chicken and hens. Gorgeous. Love the color palette, love the layout, love the whole thing. Can't wait to stitch that one. I got this Madame Chantilly, a Halloween small. So this is Sweet Halloween. It's called A Cup of Halloween. Another Madame Chantilly, which is Halloween in a Jar. Gorgeous. And I love it that you could like just stitch the flowers, or you could just stitch the house. So cool. Halloween Terrarium by Tiny Modernist. Love that. The Big Wahoo kit from Satsuma Street. So it comes with the beads, the flosses, the needle. I haven't stitched a Satsuma ornament yet. I have another one that's Christmas, but I haven't stitched it. So maybe I'll pull this one out. All of them were really cute this year. I also really liked Specs, the ghost here. He's really cute, and the kitty's cute. So, keeping it October themed, Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This is Pumpkin Urn. I was really feeling the October Halloween stitching. I also got Quaint Rose Needle Arts Margaret Hull 1872. This beautiful bird. There's been a lot of really good bird releases lately. I love a good bird stitch. I got Little Robin Designs Eliza Esom 1827. Just a nice blackwork sampler. I really liked the border on this one though. And there's some eyelet stitches in here. I got Silver Creek Samplers, Home With You. Just a sweet little welcome home, love design. I'll probably change the color of the house to match our house, which is yellow. So I might sort of transverse these colors. I might do home in blue and the house in the gold. We'll see. I got Tiny Modernist Autumn Traditions Sampler, which is beautiful. I love it so much. A lot of stitching in this one though. It's not huge, 120 by 180, but it's a lot. It's not full coverage, but it's close. I got Carriage House Samplings Stardust. They have a couple of these tombstone designs, and some of them you can order from the Carriage House website. So I might do that one too, but I love this one. One of my favorite, it's related to one of my favorite quotes that I love from a science fiction show called Babylon 5. There's Stardust. So I like that one. I got Stitchy Prose's Frankenstein Sampler. Big Frankenstein fans in this house. Both Mary Shelley's book, in addition to the monster. My husband is a huge Frankenstein fan, so stitch this one for him. Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful. Good quote. I got the Ink Circles Clouds Over Virlanda. I saw this one and I literally was like head over heels. I have a Virlanda whip, which you can see in my whip parade. It's the one from the Antique and Needlework Quarterly magazine. But look at the colors. I love the colors so much. Yeah, it's Belsois, which I've never stitched with, that are also very expensive, but I might do it. I might swipe my credit card for that one. It's beautiful. I got Susan Crothers 1853 sampler from the Heart Needle Art, which the pinks are not my typical colorway, but there was something about it that was just beautiful and delicate, and I just love that flower. And my last one for Needlework Expo is Inspired by Nature by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This is a sampler. There's a sampler, a bird, and a pincushion. And I love everything about the sampler, including the 2 tones of linen. I love that butterfly. And that butterfly is on, like, so you stitch them on different pieces of linen and then you applique them, I think. Yeah, and there's like a helpful guide about stitching linens together, and so I love a new technique. So that was my Needlework Expo haul. And you'd think that that would be enough to sort of hold me over, but it wasn't. So we'll start here. I pre-ordered the kit from Hobby House Needleworks. There's a Facebook group, which I can't remember the name of now, and I'm using my phone, so I can't look it up for you. I'll put it down below. There's the name of there's a Facebook group where you can get exclusives if you're a member of that group, and they switch sort of which shop you get exclusives through. And so Hobby House Needlework had this one, which was Hannah Wilson, which is an Ackworth Quaker sample by Needlework Press. And I love it so much. I love it so much. And this like sent me down like a, a black sampler sort of hole because it's gorgeous. So I got the kit fabric, which I think it was originally on Eureka by Fox and Rabbit, but I got the, what's it called? Old Sheep by XJU Design, 40 count. And it's enough for a 2.5 inch border. So it's beautiful. And I got the Aversois, which you can't see in this little bag because it's got a lot of glare, but it's like a dark brown. It's colorway 628. So, and it also came with pins. Real excited about that. It was my first time ordering from Hobby House, and it was great. They were very communicative, and I had placed some other orders, like some orders from some other stuff while I was there, and everything shipped at the same time. So I also ordered this sampler, which is Lucinda Fraser 1866, also by Needlework Press. And I didn't get the kit fabric, but I did get the floss for it and the Aversois. And I'm like real excited about it. I want like a whole black sampler wall. Like I know. When am I gonna do it? I don't know. And I got some other fabrics too while I was ordering. So I got, sorry for the crinkle. I love the bags that they send them in. They are maybe not Flosstube friendly, but I do like them. So this is a 36 count XJU Designs Old Linen, which is a beautiful like dark gray. I got a fat quarter of that one. And I have to put them back, or I'm going to forget which one's which. I got a piece of 36 count Haunted by Seraphim. And this one they actually reached out because I originally had ordered Murky, but they were out. And so they asked if they could send this as a replacement, and I said, sure. I've never tried it, but be happy to give it a shot. It's a lot more mottled, especially like up in this section. And it's a lot more mottled, especially in this section, but it's beautiful. And it's not quite so stark in person. So it is blowing out a little bit because of the lighting I have here, but it's beautiful. Okay. I got a piece of Patriots Brew by R&R Reproductions. I got a fat half of this one. Just a really good, solid, neutral. It's totally losing all of its character in that. That's a little more true. It's a very beautiful golden, light golden color. And the last one I got was a 40 count dark golden brown by Exchange Designs. Which is reading more orange. That's pretty true to what it looks like. I thought this would be a little browner. It's beautiful. I don't know. This one is a maybe for me. We'll see. I'm not quite sure what I'll put on it. It's not quite the color I was expecting, but it is beautiful. So just have to think about that one. Give it a good think. All right, I'm going to pause one more time to pull out some of the charts that I got, and I'll be right back. All right, so then I did a little bit of shopping on Stash Unloading. So these are charts that I bought from just individuals either used or new that they hadn't touched. So some of them I don't know if they're out of print or not. I'm sorry, I'm really not that good with that. I just buy what I like. So this first one is the Sweetheart Tree, Jack and the Silver Spider. It comes with the little silver spider charm. Just a sweet little Halloween piece. I got Exemplars from the Heart, When the Calling Birds Sing. Love this one. I love the tree and the like sort of full coverage down here with the birds. That. Exemplars from the Heart, Meeting House. Gorgeous. City Stitcher Strawberry Sampler. Handwork Samplers, the Sophia Eastland Sampler. Look at that little dog. This one's pretty. I love the colors on this one. It's golds and dark browns and black. I got the Lucy Red Sampler by Homespun Elegance. This one is Eclectic Possessions, Emily C's fault. I saw her stitch it, or saw her talk about it, and I needed to have it. So she enabled me, and I found it on Stash and Load, and that was all there was. There's also the Sampler Company. Martha Price is the name of this one. This one's really pretty. It's again very dark and broody. And I love the epigraph that's on here. It says, young ladies fair, whose virtuous minds incline to all that's curious, innocent, and fine. With admiration in your works, we read the various textures on the twining thread. Then let your fingers, whose unrivaled skill exalts the needle, grace the noble quill. Sounds good. This is Hester's Needle, Sarah Hawthorne. It's a band sampler. Oh, there's two in here. Okay, so I'll show you this one first. This is Hester's Needle, Sarah Hawthorne sampler. Is that right? Yeah. So it's a band sampler, so it's a little hard to see. It's a very tiny photograph, but that one's really pretty. And then there's also the Anne Garland sampler, which I forgot I purchased because it was on the back side of this one. It's got bunnies and birds and a big old house. Again, dark, moody, broody. Finally, last but not least, traditional sampler chart. This is Growing Like a Tree. From Moira Blackburn. Beautiful. I forgot I had one more thing, one more piece of hole, and this was not not from Stash and Loading. I bought the kit from Lindy Stitches for the kitty cats, the black cat samplers. I totally forgot. So it's black cat season. And they're on all the cards, and there's different patterns. I bought the full set of patterns. House Panther. Which I think is gonna go, oh, and there's a thank you. Thanks, Lindy Stitches. What was I gonna say? I forget. Oh, that's gonna go in my October plans. That's what I was gonna say. Because I got the full kit. So it comes with the floss. I got the fabric. Let me take this one out of the bag for you. Because this is the Blackberry Latte by Grace Notes. And it's really blowing out. Kind of, maybe, sort of. It's not really true to color. It's gorgeous. It's like a soft lavender. It's beautiful. So I got the fabric. I got the little scissors. These are from Kelmscott Designs, but Lindy Stitches had them as part of the kit. So they're really cute. They're very small snips. And the hanger. I want this on my wall so badly. So the fabric, you'll see, is a long and skinny. It's gonna go on there. Just like that. Gorgeous. And that's it. That's a lot. I think there's a lot more that I want to stitch than I showed for October. I mean, I've shown the samplers and things that I want to work on, my whips and things, but don't be surprised if when I make my video in October that there are things that you haven't seen yet, because there's a lot of things I want to start. Trying to be restrained, but if it's kitted or it's started, what's the difference, right? So I hope that you had a wonderful Sampler September. Let me know what you were working on. Let me know if there's anything here that you saw that you really love, that you can't wait to see more of. And I hope that you have a great next month. Enjoy October, the cooling weather here in the Northern Hemisphere, or warming up in the Southern. And as always, I hope you find joy in every stitch. See you later.